them is that normally when we dealing with a credit card or other type of debt, but especially credit cards, we look at statute of limitations. One of the first things we look at to see whether or not the statute of limitations might have told on the card. Oklahoma has a 5-year statute of limitations, and there's also a lot of talk that since it's an open account, it's 3 years. Haven't been able to find a statute on that yet. However, the Oklahoma statute really has absolutely nothing to do with it. What controls is what credit card company that you dealt with, and in each credit card agreement there's a section that says controlling or governing law. And it states that the laws of whatever state they want to have, such as Capital One is Virginia, Bank of America is Arizona, and on and on and on. That's the statute of limitation that controls. So if you're in a state that has 5 years and the judge wants to argue for 5 years, now it's 3 years if you're if it's for example a Capital One credit card that is suing you, because it's the law of Virginia that counts, not the law of Oklahoma. And so I have a couple, 3 or 4 cases like that, and for instance, Capital One was one of them. Yes, Jeff?
Then they would have to bring it up to federal court.
No.
No, that would be arbitration, wouldn't it?
No, not arbitration either. Arbitration is a real tough one to beat for sure, because they can almost go past the statute of limitations and beyond it. But even if the judge rules, the local judge rules that it's, say, a 5-year statute of limitations, you can take them to federal court for misrepresenting the legal status of the debt. And that's what happened in this one case, at least, the Capital One, and they won the case. Capital One lost. And so that's something that's interesting. The other,
were they pro se, or did they have an attorney?
I really don't know that. But another one's very interesting is that I now have probably the only message board in this whole internet that has a really solid set of means by which you can do legal research. And the way I've accomplished it is through what is known as RSS feeds. RSS means really simple syndication. It isn't really simple, but really simple syndication.
Okay.
And it really isn't simple, but you get into it. But implementing it is pretty simple. And so my message board supports the importation of RSS feeds, and I've found that there are 19 Oklahoma lawyers who are putting out blogs, and the blogs have RSS feeds, so I can import the feeds into my message board. One of them is a Tulsa lawyer. I forget the names of who they are, but he reports on all of the Oklahoma State Supreme Court case decisions. And there's another Oklahoma lawyer that reports on all of the 10th Circuit decisions. I have another one from Michigan who is actually a debt collector attorney, but he really puts out some fantastic information to help pro se litigants, and you wonder why, but he does. I also have blogs reporting in from attorneys from Oregon, New York, Texas, and several other states. So there's an awful lot of research material there that you can get into and get you. And some of the stuff you find in these RSS feeds are really, really surprising. Is that Jeff?
What's the URL?
Consumers.creditwrench.com. It says consumers. No www at all. Pardon? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wrench?
Wrench, like a monkey wrench.
Okay. I thought you were saying ranch.
No. Some people do make that mistake. However, I found out that today that there are some attorneys that have been watching a case that I've been helping one of my students with from Rhode Island, and it's a Capital One case, and the attorneys are just absolutely adamant that they get a non-disclosure statement in their settlement. And the reason is that what they said, well, you know, my student asked them why they are so adamant about that, because we've been following this case on Creditwrench, and we don't want that to, we don't want to get out anymore. Well, the guy must be getting it off a pacer. I don't know how he gets it, but that's the way it goes. But anyway, I've got an awful lot of material, research material, and you can sure spend a lot of time coming up with a lot of different information that's vitally important to your cases. Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome. I know that Bill helped Richard Smith in Tennessee
Yeah.
with a case, and I know it was Richard that told me when he went before the judge that he had found in the state of Tennessee that 3-year statute of limitations that helped him stop the statute of limitations, and the judge ruled in his favor based on that.
That's right.
And yet he was in Tennessee, and then Richard was telling me that he understands that could be then used in other states.
Well, yeah.
But the credit card company was not from Tennessee.
No, that's right.
It was from like Delaware, I believe that one was.
Delaware would have been discovered. Delaware should have been discovered.
Well, they somehow, when it, he was thinking he was having a real battle because he was past 3 years but not the 6th.
Right.
And he got his case removed based on the 3-year statute of limitations in Tennessee.
Well, if you stop and think about the logic behind it, you've got a contract. The lawyer's going to come into court, and he's going to argue that he's suing you on a contract which you violated. Okay, so if he's going to sue you on a contract that you violated, then that contract has got that full clause in it every time. Controlling law shall be whatever state the credit card company wants their law to be done. Well, all right. The question then becomes, if we have a contract that we're going to be suing on and using as evidence, then how is it that if I break the contract, you can sue me, but if you break the contract, I can't sue you? All right. Is the contract binding on both parties or only one? Now, it's true that it's a unilateral contract, we know that, but it's also an open-ended contract, and so if both parties break the contract, it's going to be completely and utterly void contract from there. So the judge has got to follow the terms and conditions of the contract as the parties have agreed to it. And if he fails to do that, the contract is null and void, and so is any judgment he puts out. Now, you want to be careful, because sometimes some states you might be in might have a longer statute, a short statute of limitations, such as 3 years, and the credit card company's one happens to be in another state which has a longer statute of limitations. Then you don't want to argue that.
So you have to find out where the corporate office is, and that.
Where the corporate office that is, yes.
Yes, Gary.
I didn't hear you.
Well, wait just a minute, Gary. Excuse me. All right, Gary got the floor.
Another reason you might want to look at tackling that with too is I've been kind of thinking about this for the last few days, because I've been helping Jim Buddy up in Missouri. As soon as they sue you for the breach of contract, you automatically file a counterclaim and sue them. And then you demand a jury trial according to the 7th Amendment of the Constitution, that in any and all cases of controversy where the sum exceeds $20, a jury trial shall be granted. Okay? Then what you want to do when you demand that jury trial, you want to parallel your authority with the 7th Amendment of the Constitution, go into the Constitution of the state wherever you reside, parallel that authority with the state constitution, and then go into the local rules of the court and parallel that jury trial authority. You want to parallel all 3 of them and make them go to a jury trial. And we got that done on his buddy up in Missouri. And the judge said, we will have a jury trial now. And they started freaking.
Good job. Good job.